Hi everyone, today's edition of Cosmetic Castaways features blush and bronzer. First, I want to talk about bronzers. The first one I have here is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, and I really like this. As you can see, it's got a pretty good little dent out of it. This is a waterproof bronzing powder, and it's in the color 022 Sun Bronze. And I really like this to warm up the face. It isn't a very shimmery type of bronzer, which I do like sometimes, just to give a little bit more of a matte color. And I just use this all over the face to kind of warm up around the outermost part of my face. As I was going through, I realized I had one very similar in color, and you'll see I will include swatches of all of these as we move along. But the one that's similar in color is Toasted Coconut, and this is from the City Color Be Matte line. This is completely matte. It has no shimmer, so it is slightly different than my Rimmel one, but they are almost identical, so I don't need two of these. I'm going to keep my Be Matte one simply just because it is a completely matte one. The next one I have up is the Sonia Kashuk. This is actually a duo. It's the Chic Luminosity Bronzer and Blush Duo. This is in the color 53 Glow, and it has the bronzer on one side and the blush on the other, as you can see, and I really love this. It is such a beautiful shade, but I do have a very similar color to a bronzer, and that is my Pop Beauty. Now this one is slightly different in the way of it is darker. It is a lot more cool toned than the Sonia Kashuk one, and for me, I prefer something a little bit more cooler toned because I want to get away from that reddish, that orangey brown bronzer. This one I have loved, and I've talked about it so much. It's the color Sunkissed Bronzer. I just find I don't gravitate towards this one as much. I'm going to give this one a pass. Next up, I have the Physicians Formula. This is the Shimmer Strips, and it is in the color Vegas Strip. This is the light bronzer. I believe this is the lightest you can find, and this is a little bit more leaning to the gold, very bronzy shade. There's other ones that have more of a pink tone in it, but I love this one a lot. I've used it as an eyeshadow, and this is very similar to the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks, which is a lot more expensive. And if you're looking for a dupe, this would be the one that you want to get from the drugstore. Now, when I was swatching this, I found that I had something very similar, and it's another Physicians Formula product. This is the Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in the color Light Bronze Pearl. Now, this is the type of mosaic kind of coloring, and you just kind of brush all around and you get this really pretty bronzy gold shade. But when I swiped the shimmer strip, it was very similar, and I don't need two of the same shades. Now, I've decided to keep the Vegas strip, and simply because you have the individual colors, and you can really just utilize with a small brush for eyeshadow purposes that one color, as opposed to this product where it's all kind of mixed in that very mosaic type thing, and it's hard to kind of focus on one color. I'm going to give this one a pass, and I'm going to go ahead and keep the Vegas strip. Next is the e.l.f. Healthy Glow Bronzer. This is in the color Sunkissed. This one I've never used as a bronzer. It is more of a highlighter. It comes off gold, pretty much a pure gold, and to put that all over your face, you would probably look like a disco ball. Like I said, I am keeping the Vegas strip, and this has that same type of gold color on the top part that I could just utilize and not have to keep an extra product on hand. So I'm going to give this one a pass. Next is actually just a sample. This is the Tarte Park Ave Princess. This is the Amazonian Clay Matte Waterproof Bronzer, and I love this so much. I'm going to keep my little sample, and I'll probably purchase the full size once I get through this because I love this bronzer. It is such a pretty shade. Even though it's matte, it seems like it gives such a beautiful glow even though it's matte. I'm not quite sure how that's possible or if that makes any sense, but it just melts into the skin and just gives such a beautiful finish that I love this one so much, and have been using it every day, and I have it on now to kind of just warm up my face, but it's not in your face kind of bronzer. It's a very light color that's just perfect for my skin tone. So I'm gonna keep my little sample. My last bronzer is a cream bronzer. It is from Sonia Kashuk. It's the only cream bronzer I do own. It is in the color Warm Tan, and this is just the Undetectable cream bronzer. And it comes in such beautiful packaging. I love it. It is plastic, but at the same time, it just looks nice. So I'm a sucker for packaging. And I love this formula a lot. It is so creamy. It just really blends into your skin, but it is a little too warm for me. And as much as I love it, I do not use it as much as I would like to just because of the shade. So I've decided, even though I do love the consistency of it, it is just not the right color for me, and it's just a waste to have it getting old in my collection. So I'm gonna see if my sister wants this. She is a darker skin tone, and this just may look a little bit better and less warm on her coloring. Moving on to blushes, I'm gonna just go by brand here to make things a little easier. I have Tarte, and Tarte is amazing. If you have not checked them out, I have 3 full-size blushes and 1 smaller blush that came in a kit I got. I love this one. It is not a color that you can find in the normal collection. It's the color Memorable, and it's beautiful. I love this one so much. It is this beautiful pinky purple shade, and I just think it's gorgeous on the face, and it works with so many skin tones. Next, I have the color Fearless, and this is a beautiful pink color, and it has some gold shimmer in it, but it's not that type of shimmer where you can see it in large particles. It is very much a sheen when it is on your face, and it's gorgeous. I love this color. It is just a beautiful true pink type of shade. Next up, I have the color Empowered. Now this shade is probably, I think, the first one I ever got, and I love it. It's just this beautiful pale pink. It gives a nice sheen to the cheeks. And the final Tarte blush is Blissful. This is just an everyday, this is a matte color. It is just a pretty pink shade. Nothing too special about the shade, but the finish is nice. I just love Tarte blushes in general. They do last on me for a long time. I love these blushes, so I'm going to keep all of them and not part with these yet. Next, I want to talk about my Makeup Geek blushes, and I do have 5 of them, and I have them here just in my Z palette, and the colors I have here are Hanky Panky, which is this beautiful true pink. I have the color Rendezvous, which is more of a cooler lilac tone pink. I have Bliss, which is a peachy shade that is just really pretty, and you don't find that shade too often out there in blushes. The next one is Head Over Heels, and this has a little bit of shimmer in it and is a pale pink. And I forgot to mention, but these 3 here are all matte shades, and these 2 do have shimmer. And this next one here is Honeymoon. Now this one is versatile in the sense that you could probably use it as a highlighter. Now, if you are medium to dark skinned, you are definitely going to just use it as a highlighter because it is not going to work as a blush for you. It barely works as a blush for me, and I am fair skinned. I do love these Makeup Geek blushes. I think that they're great quality for the price, so I definitely recommend picking those up, and I will not part with these babies because I do love them. And while going through and swatching all these, I found another dupe. This color Rendezvous right here is pretty much exactly the same color I have in a City Color Be Matte blush. Now this one is in the color Blackberry, and they are almost identical. So I don't need both of these. What I'm going to do is keep my Makeup Geek because it's just, I love the quality of it a little bit better, and pass on my Be Matte from City Color. Although I think these are amazing, amazing blushes. They are so creamy and ridiculously pigmented for what you're paying. I just don't really want to have two of the same kinds. Now that we're talking about the City Color Be Matte blushes, let's just continue on with the other ones I have. The other two I have is Fresh Melon, and this is such a pretty peachy pink color, and it's almost like a coral. It is so bright and so beautiful. You really can go very light-handed with this, and it's cheap and it's completely matte, and they just feel so soft. This is such a beautiful color. It is awesome for the summertime when you just want that little bit brighter of a shade to put on your apples or your cheeks. It is such an amazing formula, these blushes. I cannot stress how great these are for the price. I mean, the longevity of them is not going to be forever because they are a little bit more inexpensive and lower of a quality, but I was so impressed with the pigmentation. The last one I have is the color Papaya, and this one is just super unique. It is kind of like a brown rosy type of shade, and it's just so unique, and I don't have really anything very similar to it, so I'm still going to keep this one along with the Fresh Melon because these are just really pretty colors, and I like that they're matte. I have a few NYX products, and I love NYX products because they are inexpensive, but you are getting a good quality. Some cream shadows that I do have are Tickled, which is a beautiful gold pink. I've talked about this so much. It is gorgeous on the skin. The next one is Rose Petal. Excuse the packaging, it was delivered broken, so I have it taped up. This was just a very beautiful natural pink shade. And then the last one is Boho Chic, and this one is a little bit more of a cooler tone, a pinky purple shade, and it's just really a natural color when you apply this to your cheeks. These give such a nice finish. If you're gonna get a cream blush and you're not quite sure that you like cream blushes and you just kind of want to give it a try, pick these up because they're inexpensive and they're really, really nice in formulation, and it does last, on me at least, for a very long time, so it's really impressive for something that's inexpensive. Now I do have one single blush from NYX, and this is in the color Cinnamon, and yes, this is like a bright orange. It is gorgeous, and this is probably the most perfect color for someone with a darker skin tone, at least in my opinion. I don't know what it is, it just looks amazing on someone with darker skin tone. On me, I have to be very, very light-handed, but I still want to keep it because it's a beautiful shade. I have nothing in my collection like this, and if I do want to apply makeup to someone who has that darker skin tone, this would just be a gorgeous color to use. And I am going to keep my NYX cream blushes as well because these are gorgeous and I have nothing similar in color and consistency. Now to some e.l.f. products I have here. I have two of the just typical single blushes. This is in the color Pink Passion, and yes, this might be a little alarming when you see the color and how bright it is. It is beautiful. You just go very light-handed on this shade and it just gives a very nice natural flush to the skin. So don't be alarmed by this shade. You can still use this in a very natural way, and it's beautiful, and they're just very soft and very pigmented. I was really impressed. Again, with the price tag that you're paying, you wouldn't expect much. The other one I have is Blushing Rose, and this is gorgeous. This one is so unique. I don't have anything in my collection this color, and like it's, you know, stated, it is a blushing type of rose color with a little bit of a bronzy gold color to it. Sometimes I use this as a eyeshadow because it's such a great shade. So I'm definitely going to keep these because I like them a lot and they're fairly new to my collection, so I want to hold on to them. The next two I have are baked blushes, and I have the color Peachy Cheeky. That's just a really cute name, and it is this marbled bake blush that is a pinky type of gold sheen to it. The other one I have is Rich Rose, and this one probably comes closer to that blushing rose color, but a little bit more bronzy. And these are really beautiful. This looks so nice on the cheeks. It just gives a gorgeous sheen. Very impressed with the baked blushes from e.l.f. and I also use these as eyeshadows as well. This one is very pale, as you can tell from the swatches, and this one's just this gorgeous rosy bronze shade, and I just really like these a lot, so I'm gonna keep these as well. And the last e.l.f. products I have are the e.l.f. HD. These are the cream blushes. I did mention these in my favorites, and I love these so much. I'm not going to talk about how amazing they are because I will link my video below and you can check out all the details about these, but these are gorgeous cream blushes and they come in a pump, and I love that. So I am definitely holding on to these. These are new and just gorgeous. Getting down to the end here, I have one and only Melon Baked Blush, and I'm sure if you've been watching my videos, this is not a surprise as to what shade. This is Luminoso. I am so surprised. I am almost done with this. I haven't hit pan, but I don't have that bump anymore, so I'm getting down to the wire here. Now this one is gorgeous. You've heard a million people probably talk about it. It is very similar to NARS Orgasm, so this would be a great drugstore dupe if you do like that shade, but it's just this beautiful peachy gold sheen, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna hold on to this because I'm almost done with it. Another one and only I have here is the Tarte Cheek Stain, and this came in a kit, so it's just kind of a random thing I've had in my collection, and this is in the color Flushed. It's just a very translucent type of shade, nothing too opaque. It is really nice if you are just going for a natural look, no powder, you've used maybe a skin tint or some sort of BB cream, and you just want a little bit of color on your cheeks. This would be a really nice product for that, but I'm gonna hold on to it because I do often have very natural days or completely no makeup days, and this would be great to just make sure I use. I forget I have all this stuff and I haven't used it in so long, but I'm definitely gonna try to use this up. And that's it for today's Cosmetic Castaways. I am really proud of myself for the 7 products that I've been able to pass on or dispose of and get out of my collection. And although I still have a good amount that I am keeping, it's something that now I know I have and kind of brought back into my life and decided that these are keepers because I really do love them. And so I'm just going to try to really switch up my makeup almost every day so I can utilize each and every one of them. If you like this video, please don't forget to give a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, you know where that button lives. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!